In June 2025, the 5th International Meditation Conference was held at Zhichenkar in Thimphu, Bhutan, hosted by the Center for Bhutan and GNH Studies, marking a unique convergence of global perspectives. Held from the 3rd to the 6th, the event brought together meditation masters, scientists, philosophers, and practitioners from around the world. Under the theme Science, Meditation, and Mindfulness, the conference explored the meeting points between ancient contemplative practices and modern research. Topics ranged from neuroplasticity and AI to indigenous traditions, dream yoga, and ethical dimensions of consciousness studies. Across 4 days, participants shared insights, demonstrated techniques, and reflected on the evolving role of meditation in science, culture, and daily life. We now present to you 6 speakers we interviewed from the conference. We are very delighted to be joined by Madam Indrani Laskar. After her presentation about mindfulness in schools, integrating into education and health policy, we are very excited to delve deeper into your insights and perspective about it. So welcome to the set, ma'am. And would you please start with introducing yourself a bit to our viewers?
Good afternoon. I'm Indrani Laskar. Presently, I'm posted as Additional Secretary to the Government of Assam and in Health and Family Welfare Department. Other than being a civil servant, I am also a Buddhist scholar, and I've been pursuing my course in Masters in Buddhist Psychology. I'm also an author and writer, and of course it's always been an honor to be back in Bhutan, because this is not the first time, and becoming from Assam, Bhutan has always got a special love for all of us, especially us from Assam. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
So, as a civil servant and a Buddhist scholar, what inspired you to champion mindfulness in the context of public health and school education, ma'am?
Well, I can say that in public health and in school, it is still in a baby stage out here. In India, we do have a mental health policy 2017. And we do have an education policy also, which is in place 2020. But right now, going through the studies, Buddhist studies, and as a civil servant, what I had seen is that mental health is becoming one big problem, especially among the young children and also the elderly people, and also there's lots of work stress also. So this has become, it's no longer that someone who is having some mental health issues. In fact, in my office also, I had got one staff who had got mental disorder, and everyone had called him, that he's crazy or something like that. We have to remove the stigma, and we will have to approach it just like, it's not going to be preventive. It is going to be just like we are taking care of our physical health, we should also take care of our mental health. And the answer is, where do we begin? The answer is only in the Buddhist psychology and in philosophy. And the core is that, we all want to be happy, as His Holiness in His Art of Happiness has all told us that every human being wants to be happy, free from suffering, and that happiness does not happen from the outer factors. This happiness belongs from our inner self. We have to remove anger, hatred, and jealousy, which are called the 3 poisons, which you all know. And so that we have to remove it first and foremost. We will have to find that out. And secondly is that with the antidotes, the positive emotions that we will have to give it. And this is possible only when mindfulness, that is, every moment we have to be aware of ourselves. We have to be present in ourselves, and that each moment we have to live in kindness and compassion. So that way, this is the only answer to all the mental health problems that we have, and to take care of our mental well-being, and that answer lies in mindfulness. And this has been proven all throughout, because His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been incorporating mindfulness. There is the happiness curriculum is there. Thich Nhat Hanh, he had been talking about wake up schools. So these are the small efforts. I mean, small efforts in that sense, they need to be incorporated in the policy and public health in a big way. For example, we in India, when we are talking about the mental health, we are talking about the educational policy, they had to be brought to the forefront, and how we tie them up. And I have come to this wonderful conference. I've met so many people, psychologists, researchers, and all this. So there has to be, this is the right platform when we can, just like SDG goals is something which all of us has to follow in governance. So like that, these also, it has to be kind of mandatory kind of thing that it has to come, that incorporation of mindfulness in both health sector and in educational policy.
Thank you, ma'am. So, I would like to also know about some common barriers to integrating mindfulness into formal education systems, and how might policymakers and educators work together to address them.
First and foremost, I mean, this is, that the importance of mindfulness is, first and foremost, it has to be realized by all the policy makers and the educational. So first and foremost, it has to percolate down to the teachers. First and foremost, the teachers has to be trained. Then secondly come the students. Then we can think of incorporating it in the curriculum. So the basic hurdle is that first our administrators and our policy makers have to understand its importance. There are people who are realizing it, but still we have got a long way to go. And secondly is that the teachers has to be trained, and secondly it has to be in a very focused way. We are talking like in India, we are talking about mental health, but we don't exactly know, in a focused way. That has to be, that focused approach has to be there. So these are the three factors which I believe we will have to cross if we need to incorporate it and bring it to the mainstream, as we all are thinking of as of today.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So you have highlighted the importance of teacher training for implementing mindfulness in schools.
Yes.
And how do you plan to build a sustainable network of mindfulness trained educators within the government school system?
Well, as I can say that I am just a small fry in the whole governance, okay, but as being in the part of the governance, at least I can propose that the teachers need to be trained. They have to, like the children, why it happens is that the societal tendencies, why it is rising, because the students, they are, as it has been seen, they react in a very impulsive way. So that the teachers should know how to handle, first and foremost, just like when a student is having fever and the teacher knows that exactly that he is or she is suffering from fever, requires these are the symptoms and needs to be told to the teacher, to the parents, or take it to the principal or something like that. It's just like that. He or she has to first and foremost identify if a child has been going through certain kinds of deviations from what we call it normal behavior or something like that. Secondly, she also or he has to has to deal with the child very sensitively, and she or he herself will have to, that mindfulness training should be there. So these things, I mean, if I believe in the long run we can incorporate it in giving a concept note and all. Maybe the government can deliberate on it and work upon it. I mean, still we are in a very infant stage, but I'm very positive about it.
I'm looking forward for that also. So, drawing from your international observations, what examples of successful mindfulness programs in schools have stood out to you?
One is the happiness curriculum which His Holiness has. That is an amazing program which he has, and he has got the objectives firstly of developing self-awareness and mindfulness in students. Secondly, encouraging greater empathy, which again has got relation with kindness and compassion. And thirdly is greater sense of social awareness and the values. So this is one example which everyone can take up with. In fact, in 2022, His Holiness has tried to incorporate it with the Emory University, and it is for the children from the age of 15 to 18 years of age, and where they has been telling that when they had the curriculum, they seeks to foster about awareness on the nuanced understanding of emotion, thoughts and feelings, secondly compassion, and engaging on learning behavior skills that are conducive to the social, communal and personal well-being. And they also have got a pedagogical, level of understanding of the, perceived knowledge, how they have got to develop the critical insight, and also, embodied understanding of each of the domains. So this is one example which I feel personally that can be, followed by everyone. It can bring to the forefront.
Thank you,
because it has the basis of the kindness and compassion as its core.
Last but not the least, ma'am, how do you see mindfulness contributing to broader goal of human flourishing, especially for adolescents navigating emotional, academic and social challenges?
First and foremost, what happens is that they develop some individual skills, individual skills, because they are mindful. They know how to deal with a crisis situation when they are in distress. Secondly is that when they are mindful, they also develop a compassion for others, which helps them in their relation with the community at the large and with the society. Thirdly is that in the long run, they also have the life skills, because the interpersonal relations, it also helps them to deal with that. So these are the things which can cumulatively contribute to human flourishing for the students as they grow up.
This is the set of questions from my side. If you have anything you would like to add.
The questions are very good, and it's good that I have been able to answer. I don't know whether my answers are sufficient or not, but I come with a determination and with a vision that mindfulness will be the beacon light for the world to come. This is the only message that I have, and I'm in public service. I'm a public servant. Whatever little I can contribute as a part of the government machinery, I'm looking forward to it, and I look forward to come once again to Bhutan to talk and meet so many beautiful souls and talk about mindfulness. That is all the little message that I have for everyone out here and whoever is watching me today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your time, ma'am. We really appreciate your time. Thank you, ma'am.